Hello guys, welcome back to Wednesday's video already. This week is flying by. We have a little bit of an update on the Lotus Twin Cam. What do you think of that, mate?
I think that looks well cool.
You should, you've done it.
Well, I painted it, yeah.
It's lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Lotus Twin Cam rocker cover. Bit of a legendary rocker cover, I would say.
It is really. So you're just going over the badge there to get it shiny.
Yeah, so the customer must have got back in touch with you yesterday and said he wants this red, as opposed to the black or the silver.
Yeah.
Looks really nice. I always find the red sets the rocker covers off, especially on the old stuff.
It does look cool.
Like the Cozzies, got to have the red rocker cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, just machining over the top, mate.
Shame it's gone a bit corroded down there, isn't it, really?
Yeah, there's a little bit of corrosion on the one side of it, so I'm just cleaning it up as best I can, but I can't go too deep, obviously. Or
you're getting a bit thin on material there, isn't you?
Yeah, there's not much to play with here, but it just sets it off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you can feel there, you've probably got about 10 or 15 thou, really.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty thin, mate.
It is on that side, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So yeah, can't really do...
Maybe I can polish that last bit up or something.
Yeah, I reckon you'll have to. That's the trouble with this old stuff. It's
all goes a bit warped and corroded.
A bit warped, corroded. You can only do what you can do, can't you? But yeah, it looks really nice.
It does, yeah.
And then that is, I think that's the Lotus done, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I've just had to order 4 of the half moons that go underneath the rocker cover.
Yeah, just a few little bits to button up, but yeah.
Seal for the cap.
Yeah.
And then that's it, really.
Yeah.
So guys, as you can see, first of the Lotuses, there is one down there. There is another that was on the engine stand with all the bits over there, but this is the first one that we've done, and Isaac has completed it. So we were just waiting for these little half moons here, which go underneath the rocker cover, between the rocker cover and the head, and also on the back there you can see, and also we were waiting for a new gasket, a modified rubber gasket that goes underneath the oil cap, and as you can see, it's complete. And with that red rocker cover, with our Barham Engines gel sticker on the front and the Lotus sign machined on the top, that is looking absolutely lovely. Now this is out of a Lotus Elan, so that's going to look absolutely beautiful in the car, I would say. Anything looks good with the old red rocker cover. So this is a sort of fast road engine, so it's got nice Larry-ish cams, fast road cams, obviously all balanced, slightly higher compression, and that should be absolutely lovely in something as little as a Lotus Elan. But yeah, really, really nice in the grey colour with the red rocker cover. Absolutely lovely, and I hope to God it goes as well as it looks, and hopefully the customer will be very happy with it. So what are you cracking on with here, mate?
I am cracking on with the Caddy, seeing as all the bits have now arrived.
All arrived?
Yeah.
Nice.
So just getting the oil squirters in the block.
Right.
Obviously you want to do that before you put the crank in.
So we've cleaned it all.
Yep.
Oil jets down the bottom. Why is that a different colour then?
I don't know. I guess it's some sort of coating on the bearing, but it's only on number 1 for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just like a load...
I had like these ones, orange ones.
Oh, I see.
But
a load bearing.
Yeah, it's just some sort of sputter bearing type thing, isn't it?
Right.
But I don't know why it's only on number 1.
I've seen that before, actually, saying that.
Have you?
Yes.
Seems like a thing Volkswagen would do anyway, so...
Yeah. So this is the one that we have decided... we're not to bore because pistons aren't available, certainly pretty pointless. And we've basically run the hone down it, took half a thou out of it, and it's cleaned up pretty well, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you can't feel it at all now. You can just sort of see a bit of a mark. But yeah, you can't feel it. So
we've got all the bits. We've got new rods, new pistons, new crankshaft.
Which I've those are
all
here.
The bearings.
Got those on the rods.
All lovely.
Nice Marler.
Nice Marler pistons there. So we'll check the old piston heights, but
yes, we will.
I suspect they'll probably be all right. So you probably use the thickest gasket anyway, which vary from thinnest to thickest about 10 to 12 thou. So allows you to take a little bit off the block, or the head.
Just torque them up quickly.
Very nice. And while we're at it, we have had the customer email me today. Obviously noticed this Subaru has been sitting on the side for some time. So I have emailed him back and we're sort of cracking on with that now. So all the blocks, the block halves are all blasted, heads are all cleaned up. Have we been through the heads yet?
Haven't been through them. I've stripped one out just to see if the guides are any good and just to have a general look at everything.
Oh, okay.
It looks like he's going to need valve guide inserts.
Yeah.
Or he'd probably get away without them, but it's better to just do them, isn't it?
It's better to do them, mate. Keep them nice and tight.
Yeah.
We haven't bought it yet, but,
No.
but what all I've done to start with is Isaac's priced up all the bits, so that's gaskets, bearings, all trick bits as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
he
new
wanted all the
crankshaft,
nice stuff.
H-section rods, Marla pistons. They're the same pistons you've got in yours, aren't they?
Yeah, Marla power pack. They seem to be quite good because I give mine a fairly decent running clearance and never slapped or anything.
No,
so
ideal. So yeah,
seems to be
good for
good.
motorsport. So we've sent him those prices plus the machining and the worst case on the labour, and we shall wait till he gets back to us and see what he says. But if he gives us a go ahead, we can order the bits.
Yeah.
Invoice for them first, mate, isn't it?
Yes. Yep.
And then
I suspect
and then
he
crack on with
probably
that.
might not quite want all the stuff he originally said about.
Well, maybe not, but you never know, really. Some people have a sort of idea of where they would like to go with it, but it's the cost at the end of the day, isn't it? But if he doesn't mind that, then we can crack on. But either way, as I say, there is various options for him. So whether he wants to go for the tricker bits, but sometimes, to be honest with you, the main work is in the like the labour and the machining and that, innit? The trick bits ain't really that
not
much
that much
more
money,
not
no.
really. It's only dear because you've got to start putting a crank and rods in it. But
yeah, although I think the crank, we haven't actually measured it yet, but I think it'd be all right.
Oh right, okay.
It doesn't look too bad. So if you don't need, if you don't want to go for a crank,
we might be able to keep the original crank.
yeah, we'll have to measure up and check it. But
yeah, we'll see what he says. But that's another one in a work in progress. Over here on the Audi that's on the bench, I've set this one up and torqued up the crank. So Isaac's cleaned up the crank. We've given it a good wash and a blow through. Obviously put it in here. The block's all clean. We did give it a blast, but the customer wants to paint this. Apparently he's going to be building this with his grandson, this engine. So all he wanted us to do was just dummy it all up, make sure the clearances are right, and obviously the piston jut out, etc. There is the new com rods with the one new piston on there. So obviously I'm just no circlips in this piston. I'm just literally going to dummy it up and put it in once the crank's in. But first thing I wanted to do was just plastic gauge the mains on here, see what clearance we've got. Now we are running, I think it's a pretty much 2.3, just under a 2.3 inch journal size on the crank, and is the plastic gauge that is on the mains. So the torque settings on this were 44, I think 22 and 44 foot-pounds. So we've got about 2.2 thou of running clearance, which is pretty much a thou per inch of journal, which is absolutely ideal. And the next thing I've done is put the thrust washers in, which are on bearing number 4. You can see those in there, and I'll put the gauge on the end, the DTI on the end of the crank, and I'm just going to move the crank back and forth with this screwdriver and check how much end float we've got on those. And you can see there we've got about 3 to 4 thou, which is absolutely perfect. So far so good. I shall keep that crank in there, and then when the big end bearings turn up, because this is the one I showed you in a previous video where the bearings are wrong, then they're actually listed as right for a UR Quattro, but this is a later one. This is a 89 to 92, which is an RR engine code, which is the one with the 20 valve head. So it's the later URs have these. And the only differences that I can see is it runs a smaller, on the later one, it runs a smaller diameter big end. So these are for the earlier one, which are too big. So we've ordered those from Mar Motorsport, and they should be here fairly soon. And once I get them, I can get it complete, get it on a pallet and send it back to the customer. Another one done. So guys, very quickly, I just want to thank you very much for your support as I mentioned in the last video, guys, about me being off work a little bit, with the old mental health. You know what I'm like. I've never been one of these that wants to hide it. And I always think a problem shared is a problem halved half the time. And going by the feedback and emails and stuff that I've had, it seems like I'm not the only one. There's a lot of men, I know women do as well, but I'm talking about sort of men's mental health here, because we all know that guys are a little bit more reluctant to sort of say how they feel sometimes. And these days, with the stresses of life, let alone just running a business and what have you, just general life these days, the cost of things and all the rest of it, and what is expected from a man. We all know that there's plenty of people out there that do suffer, actually, and I think they find it quite refreshing for me to talk about these things and get it off my chest and let them know really that they're not the only one. There's people out there like myself that are running businesses and YouTube channels and stuff like this who look great. It all looks great on camera. You think, oh, they got no problems, but when in reality, it's not the case. It's, we all sort of suffer a little bit. So yeah, just want to say thank you very much for your support, guys. And if there is anyone out there that does suffer, remember, you're not alone. And if you can speak to someone, or you can build up the courage to speak to one, it's best to do that, guys. Nip it in the bud and get it sorted. But yeah, thank you ever so much for your support. As I say, at the moment, I've been sort of coming in the morning, leaving halfway through the day, sort of lunchtime, going home, relaxing, go for a walk and just ease my way back in. I've had to disappear today. So today it is, 4 o'clock now, and I'm still here, but I did disappear for a couple of hours. I've had the EV charger fitted at home for the electric car, say no more. But yeah, I'm back and I'm just sort of starting to ease myself back in. So it's a bit of a strange thing because I had a bit of a meltdown. One day I'll wake up and feel absolutely fine and think, well, I'm all right now. But probably later on through the day or the next day, I wake up and I think, no, I still ain't quite right. So I just need to ease back into it. Massive thanks to Isaac and John for obviously holding the fort and looking out for me there and being patient with me, sort of having a bit of time off, but it's well needed. And yeah, just thanks a lot for your support, guys. Really do appreciate it. So guys, next on the boring bar, we have an S55 BMW. So this is an aluminium block S55. Got a feeling these are the later turbocharged ones. Not sure on the engine size, probably 3.5 litres, something like that, but very tunable. And this is from a company that comes to us from Wales, Deutschwerks, and they send us quite a lot of BMW stuff. So they've sent this one in for boring with a nice trick set of Manley pistons down there. At 0.5 mil oversize, but unfortunately BMW, we all know, do mess about with their coatings on the cylinder bores. Some they use like a cast iron liner, some have a machined in cast iron, some use a different coating like an Aliasil, but these seem to be very weird. They seem to be almost like a coated really hard surface, which is very thin. It's not even 0.5 mil thick, I don't think. But it looks like, because this is going to be running big power, we're going to have to go the ductile iron liner route. So I've rang up Westwood. Unfortunately, they do a kit for these in the ductile iron liners. The liners that they do are a top hat type, and the flange is 91 mil on the top, with flats on the inner four. 2 flats on the inner 4 and 1 flat on the outer 2, and the flats all butt up against each other. So it's one of those where the head gasket will seal on top of the liner, making it bout and braces. So the head gasket is biting into the liner top as opposed to the block. And we all know with the ductile liners, usual story, guys, nice and tough. And that should make this block really robust then to run big power. So I've got a price on the liners and availability. I've sent them an estimate with the labour of doing the machining, and we'll see what they say, see if they get back to us. But I've left it there set up because if they give us the go-ahead, I'll order them liners and just get that chomped out while it's still on there. But we have got an Ingenium down there, which is still waiting for the liners, same sort of job as that. Got the liners here, they are around the corner. Sitting over there on the bench, the ductile iron liners. So we shall get those in there, and also I've still got to get those liners in the Cosworth there for Steve. So I want to get these all sort of ploughed on in the next couple of weeks, and I want to get Steve's out the door really. But yeah, plenty on in here, guys, plenty on. We have, I'm not sure whether I updated you in the last video, but I have ordered the container that's going outside. So that's a 20-foot container, brand new, in the green, little bit. I had green or blue, but I think blue looks a bit tacky. So just gone for the green, sort of blends into the greenery background a little bit more, I suppose. But as soon as that arrives, which hopefully will be in the next week or two, we can get all this stuff on shelves in the container and out the way. And then this thing up here is going straight over to Tom as soon as we can get it off the ramp. So it's all go, it is all going here. But that is the main thing at the minute. I just want to get that container, get everything organised and off the floor in the workshop, make a bit more space and get things a little bit more organised in here, really. But that is it, guys, for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Until Friday, hopefully, have a great evening. We'll see you then. Cheers, guys.